Christoph König is back with us at Heinz Hall, the Pittsburgh Symphony this weekend. We're delighted to have you, and you've brought us a wonderful program. Beethoven's Sixth Symphony, the Overture Belphegor by Respighi, and the premiere here in Pittsburgh of the Philip Glass Violin Concerto, his second, the American Four Seasons. Maestro, welcome. Everyone loves Beethoven's Sixth Symphony. You can't go wrong to have that on a program.
That's very true, and I'm glad that the orchestra allowed me to conduct it, because usually this is the repertoire of the music director, and they have been very generous.
Well, we have wonderful things to look forward to. In the sixth, there's a storm, a thunderous storm, birds singing, a burbling brook, all kinds of wonderful, rich moments on a cold winter day here in Pittsburgh.
Very true. Perhaps this is the reason why a public which perhaps is not as used to classical music as other people might be more attracted to this type of repertoire. I think this is a big hit with the public, and I hope that we attract enough people being interested in our concerts tonight, this coming weekend.
And the Pittsburgh Symphony, like most orchestras, have a long and great tradition of playing Beethoven. We hear the strings to great advantage, and you mentioned you hear a kind of a European sound with our orchestra.
I do, and I think this the mindset of the people. There are some American orchestras, or even in the UK, they are very meticulous with the precision, but they are not as meticulous, or perhaps not as human when it comes to phrasing or having an own character. This is a very characterful orchestra. There are many personalities in the orchestra with an own opinion, and I really like that. I mean, it's fantastic. That I don't have to pump in everything, and they have an opinion, they play something, and then I go and say, would you be prepared to try something different? And we can exchange ideas rather than me imposing what I want.
Now, you brought two wonderful rarities. The Respighi Belphegor hasn't been done in Pittsburgh, maybe one other occasion in 1957.
Yes.
A ways back.
I have been talking to some of the musicians, and there's nobody in the orchestra having ever played it before.
Now, it's an unusual piece. It begins in a very mysterious way.
Yeah. It is, I would say it's almost weird, but in a way this is something I really like, when you have contrasting elements in one thing. Everybody knows Respighi, Pines of Rome, balmy, wonderful romantic music, but this is really very characterful and quite contrasting.
And it must be great for the musicians, not knowing it, to have a brand new piece by Respighi.
Well, we took them by surprise in the first rehearsal yesterday, because it's very tricky. The piece is really difficult. It's not easy. It's not an easy shot, but they have started to like it. That's good.
And after that mysterious opening, there are melodies that the audience can enjoy, and a big finish.
Yes, everything is there. But as I said it before, the beginning is quite strange, devil-like, I would say. I mean, it's quite a dark music and very modern in a way. I mean, you really hear Stravinsky or other things at the beginning. Quite weird. Well, I love it, and I'm very glad that the orchestra starts to like it as well.
And then Philip Glass. This must be a challenge for the orchestra too. His second concerto.
Yeah, it is. It is very interesting that, the kind of waves, à la mode, I would say, waves, where there has been a time where Philip Glass was played, very often. And nowadays, not many people play Philip Glass. And so I find it very demanding and challenging and interesting to have Tim Fain being introduced to the public in Pittsburgh and playing this piece. And I think it's one of his best pieces. So it's really cool.
The Four Seasons, the American Four Seasons. But the composer does not tell us which season we have.
No, he doesn't. We have to guess. But let's keep the guessing bit until the concert. I won't solve the riddle before the concert.
Spring, summer, winter, fall, what order is it?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, I guess.
See,
yeah. And Tim Fain has a beautiful violin part. I mean, there's some wonderful writing for the soloist here.
It is very, very good writing. And I was talking to Tim before, and you might be talking to Tim afterwards. He said it's quite interesting that just for once he had a final dot at the piece. He wrote something nice at the end of the concerto, because sometimes Philip Glass, he ends quietly, or he doesn't like the big bang at the end. But this time he really gives a good finish to the oeuvre at the end of the last movement.
This is your third visit to Pittsburgh, and it seems like you're enjoying it. I know the orchestra is enjoying working with you.
Yeah, there's something, the orchestra is very human, European-like in the good sense. Not everything is good in Europe, as you probably know. And I think people are interested in artistic things. I mean, really artistic things. There is a huge sensitivity in the city, and I like the city. I like the people. They are very warm, open-minded, not arrogant, not selfish in a way, you know. And the orchestra reflects the spirit, and for me, it's fantastic.